Why West Ham struggles under Graham Potter are rooted in poor planning. West Ham United finds itself in a challenging position, struggling to defend and attack simultaneously. The club is currently paying the price for missteps made in the transfer market by their former technical director, Tim Steidten. With an aging and unbalanced squad, Kyle McCauley, who has taken over recruitment since Steidten's exit 2 months ago, faces a daunting task this summer to rectify these issues. Patience is essential as the club grapples with the consequences of financial mismanagement. Money has been squandered on players who lack resale value, leaving West Ham in a precarious situation. With tight finances, a spending spree seems unlikely. After 3 consecutive seasons competing in Europe under David Moyes, the club now finds itself in a position where a top 6 finish feels like a distant dream. The glory days of the Moyes era are fading fast. While parting ways with the Scot last summer was a necessary decision, the succession plan that followed was nothing short of disastrous. Julen Lopetegui was not the right fit as manager, and the positive public relations surrounding Steidten did not translate into effective results on the pitch. This dysfunction is a familiar theme for majority shareholder David Sullivan, whose ambition often seems hindered by poor advice. When Graham Potter stepped in to replace Lopetegui in January, he inherited a challenging situation. Relegation has never seemed imminent, primarily due to the struggles of the newly promoted teams, but the season has been largely forgettable. Memorable performances have been scarce, and the atmosphere in the stands has shifted towards apathy, making it difficult for Potter to do more than just cover up the cracks. Potter's approach to football is driven by necessity. He has focused on shoring up a defense that was leaking goals under Lopetegui, but this pragmatism has come at the expense of attacking creativity. In his 12 games, West Ham has scored only 12 goals while conceding 14, resulting in a rather dull style of play. The team lacks dynamism, particularly in central midfield, and struggles to adapt to different game situations. They are vulnerable to quick counterattacks and lack the pace to exploit opportunities when they try to play more defensively. Given the poor planning that preceded his arrival, it is unfair to claim that Potter has had little impact, despite only securing 3 wins. If there are doubts about whether his cautious style suits a club as passionate as West Ham, it is crucial to consider the context of his work. Potter has indicated that he is using the final weeks of the season to assess which players will fit into his long-term vision, and the answer may not be many. Looking ahead to next season, there is a sense of caution within West Ham, currently sitting 16th before their match against Liverpool. The summer budget is expected to be limited, as the club must adhere to the Premier League's profitability and sustainability regulations. With few avenues for raising funds through player sales, Mohamed Kudus, whose form has dipped, is the only player likely to fetch a significant fee this summer. The club is in search of affordable, creative, and long-term solutions, and it appears that Evan Ferguson, the on-loan Brighton striker, will not be joining permanently. Potter's squad needs reinforcements, including a striker, improved center-backs, and at least 2 midfielders. West Ham cannot dominate matches with their current style of play. The midfield lacks a cohesive combination that can function effectively. In a recent draw against Bournemouth, the team started with a lackluster trio of Edson Alvarez, Tomas Soucek, and James Ward-Prowse. The situation improved when attacking players were introduced, but this left the team vulnerable as they defended a 2-1 lead with a midfield of Carlos Soler, Lucas Paqueta, and Ward-Prowse. In a related note, Potter has shared insights about Lucas Paqueta, who is using football as a distraction from his ongoing spot-fixing charge. The FA's investigation into allegations that Paqueta deliberately received bookings for betting purposes is ongoing, with potential severe consequences if he is found guilty. Despite the turmoil, Paqueta has maintained a positive mindset, and Potter plans to start him in the upcoming match against Liverpool. Potter has often sought stability by employing a back 3, recognizing that this is a transitional phase for the club. West Ham conceded 20 goals in Lopetegui's last 8 games, and Potter's priority has been to halt the downward spiral. Statistics show a defensive improvement, with the team allowing fewer shots per game under Potter compared to Lopetegui. However, the attacking output has declined, with fewer shots and lower expected goals. This situation is complex. Lopetegui's attempt to implement an expansive style with